Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you for attending this event. So today we have visiting lecture with Bugema University in day 2. And today we have Mr. Joseph Mugerwa for our lecture today, and we will discuss about the impact of cyber ignorance to economics. So I will greet our speaker today. Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, are you ready for the presentation, sir?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Hope you can see my screen.
Okay, now the time is yours.
Okay. Let me share my screen once again. Well, nice meeting you members once again. I'm so privileged to be part of the team today, presenting to you. I thank my previous presenter that showed us cloud ERP as an enabler for SMEs world over. And I cannot take this for granted for having given me a chance to share something with you about the impact of cyber ignorance to economy or to economics. Well, I'll be checking into the comment section for any comments from you, and hope to have a good time with you all the way from Uganda, from Bugema University. Greetings to all of you. Now, before I go very far, somebody might be wondering over there that who is Joseph? Okay, but before go very far, you're very welcome. Sama. Hopefully, I've got that right. The Google Translator gave me that, and hope I've got that right. Sama in Indonesian, it means you're all welcome. Okay. So now, who is Joseph? Like Joseph owns a Master of Science in IT, specifically majoring in network security, and I have a Bachelor of Science in Information Systems as well. At the same time, I'm a CCNA and CCNA Security Certified and practitioner. Those of you who have been in the networking field, probably Cisco, you might have heard about Cisco. So I'm a Cisco certificate. I'm a Cisco Certified Networking Associate, together with Cisco Certified Network Associate Security. So I've done I'm a certified security expert, certified by Cisco, as well as a network associate. And I'm again certified by IBM as a cloud application developer. Probably you might have heard about IBM. I'm a Linux servers enthusiast. I love Linux servers. I interact with them almost on a daily basis. It's one of the tasks I do, and it's one of the course units that I teach to the different institutions that I have a chance to teach to. I'm a network support consultant. It's one of the aviation industry, companies we have in Uganda called Bar Aviation. You can Google it, or you can put Bar Aviation Uganda in the search engine, and you'll have a look at what Bar is. And as well as a lecturer at Bugema University. Okay, lecturer at Bugema University. Lastly, I could go on and tell you who Joseph is, but today I'm not here to talk about exactly who I am. But you can get more info about me. You can check out me on LinkedIn, and you can as well check me out on GitHub, because I'm an open source enthusiast. I have a number of open source projects that I contribute to. So if you're a GitHub lover, you can check me out. That's my link. You can check me out over there. Then you can have the discussion as well. Okay, so that's a little about me. I won't take all the time describing who I am, but looking forward to connecting with you more after this. So in today's presentation, we are going to look at, first of all, what we mean by cyber literacy or cyber ignorance. I tried to translate this into Indonesian. Mr. Moderator, hopefully I got that translation right. Yeah, I love learning new languages. Every country I go to, at least I make sure that I teach a few words from there. Mr. Moderator, did I get that right? For example, define cyber literacy, and we shall also look at what and why the cyberspace. You know, I'll show you a few statistics, and I'm going to show you a live demo right now. I'll pick out Indonesia, and you'll have a look at it at your own. I mean, by your own eyes, and I'll show you then the impacts or the costs that if we don't check cyber ignorance, we are most likely to face more of these and see more of these coming on board. Then we shall give some hope at the end of the presentation by showing you then what next. Okay, what next? So promise me that we're good to go. If you can hear me and we are the same pace, I would appreciate if you replied with a Y in the messages section. I just want to confirm if we the same place, the same page. I'd appreciate if I got a response of a Y, meaning a yes, in the messages section. I'd appreciate so. Okay. Okay. I'd appreciate. Okay. Mr. Moderator, hopefully people are sending in the response. Okay. 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 Let's go. So, according to the Oxford Dictionary, okay, let's begin by what we mean by cyber illiteracy or cyber ignorance. According to the Oxford Dictionary, it defines literacy as the inability to read and write. However, it has another definition of literacy as lack of knowledge in a particular subject. Okay, lack of knowledge in a particular subject. Now, the subject in question here could vary. Okay, let me give an example. Assuming I'm not an engineer, I'm not an automobile engineer, so I don't know how a car works. I only know how to drive a car. But if a car gets a problem on the road, I cannot troubleshoot that problem. Sincerely speaking, I would be illiterate in the field of automobiles or automobiles, repair. I don't have the knowledge in that sector, though I can drive a car, but I might not be able to repair it in case it gets a problem. Now, even in the cyberspace, in case you don't get the appropriate skills and knowledge to keep you afloat in the cyberspace, well, we can literally regard you as cyber ignorant, okay? But then the question we are asking, okay, who exactly, is a cyber ignorant? Maybe by the end of the presentation, you would have determined who is who, okay? Now, you and I know very well with the invasion of COVID-19, okay? with the invasion of COVID-19, I'm pretty sure that even that time COVID-19 must have hit you. It has been a world phenomenon. Okay, and maybe, not maybe, I believe it must have hit you. With the invasion of COVID-19, physical contact over here in Uganda was highly discouraged. There was a time we had to keep ourselves in our houses for almost 2 months, only getting out to get food and a few house supplies. And as COVID was going on, life had to go on. So a number of sectors, companies, and economies, they had to shift their operations into the cyberspace. Okay, they had to shift their attention, their operations into the cyberspace. Now, when we talk about the cyberspace, what and why is the cyberspace? One, when we talk about the cyberspace, we basically mean a notional environment in which communication occurs over computer networks. Right now, I'm speaking to you. You are at another planet, I'm at another planet. I'm in Africa, could be somewhere in Asia. Now, where you and I currently are operating from, we're operating from the cyberspace, basically. Now, why the cyberspace? One, it makes it possible for individuals at different spots of the earth to talk to each other using the computing devices. You and I, right now, we're talking to each other. So now, again, the cyberspace eliminates the distance factor in the equation of business. And this widens the audience base, which in turn facilitates the growth of the parties that are involved into the equation. So if I can get clients, let's say in Indonesia, even when I'm in Africa, that's a big deal to me. If I can sell my product to a client in the US when I'm in Africa, that's a big deal. Okay. Now, though the cyberspace users have tremendously grown with time, okay. Now, less effort have been invested in improving the cybersecurity consciousness. The key word here being consciousness of the users. Some of us, or a number of us, use the cyberspace, but with little security caution at the back of our mind. At the back of our mind. So, as the number of people in the cyberspace increases, less efforts have almost been invested in improving and in raising awareness and consciousness of these users about the security of the space in which they are operating. That's quite dangerous. That's quite dangerous. If, for example, we continue producing cars and we eliminate the driving schools, then how will the drivers get the right driving skills from? As the cars, for example, go out, we must increase the number of driving schools such that those driving schools can deliver the appropriate knowledge to the drivers such that we can then harmoniously use the road with less or no harm. Now, what is funny is that as the number of users in the cyberspace increase, less effort have been invested in improving the cybersecurity consciousness of the users. I remember there was a meeting we were in. It was a meeting like this. It was over, I think, over Google Meet, and were hijacked by a group of some teenagers. And these teenagers splashed all the dirty pictures in the meeting. So the host had to cancel the meeting, and it was chaotic. It was chaotic in the meeting. Now, let me give you a few statistics probably. According to Ovimon, Ovimon is a British consulting firm. It estimated in the year of 2022 alone, over 1 billion people in Africa. This is Africa alone. 1 billion people in Africa, are estimated to have access to the internet by the end of this year, 2022. This is quite a big number. I wish somebody thinks about it. Now, if you think I'm talking about Africa alone, let me show you something about Indonesia. The National Cyber and Crypto Agency, BSSN, reported that more than 888 million cyber attacks, occurred in Indonesia between January and August of 2021. This is quite a number. This is quite a number. This is almost double the 495 million that were recorded through the whole of 2020. And somebody thinks about it. How horrible is it? BSSN, the National Cyber and Crypto Agency, reported that more than 888 million cyber attacks occurred in Indonesia between January and August of 2021. This is almost double the 495 million that were recorded throughout the whole of 2020. Now, hold on with me. Let me show something funny over here. Okay, let me bring up something. Let me bring up something over here. Allow me bring this into the view. Okay, so with me over here, I have shared with you. Can you see this rotating map on the screen over there? I hope you can see them. Appreciate, Mr. Moderator. I appreciate your response. Over with me here is this is a cyber threat map relayed by Kaspersky, and it shows attacks in real time. I want to pull out Indonesia and you look at Indonesia alone. I want you to get exactly the pen that we have. Hope you can see the shared screen with you. You can see this rotating map around. This is the cyber threat map. It's relayed by Kaspersky, and it relays data in real time. Okay, now allow me zoom in and go to Indonesia. Let me first increase this. Indonesia is okay. This is Indonesia, right? This is Indonesia over here. Hope you can see this. Okay, so China somewhere down over here. This is Indonesia. So I'll click, for example, on Indonesia. I want you to see this. This data is captured in real time, and this red, white, this green, red stuff that you're seeing, these are captured in real time of different kinds. Now, sorry. Okay, let me bring this back. Okay, so I'll go to Indonesia. So I'll click on Indonesia right now. Okay, I've clicked on Indonesia right now. Okay, now this is what is amazing. I've not picked out Uganda. I've not picked out Africa. I want to point this to you. As I was checking yesterday, for example, Indonesia was the 15th most attacked country in the whole world. Right now, it's the 19th most attacked country. Think about it. My friend, think about it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it has turned out. Let me bring back. This is Indonesia. And as we speak right now, somebody somewhere is launching an attack which could be targeting one of you in Indonesia. You don't know who that could be, but you could be one of those that are targeted. And as we speak right now, it's the 19th most attacked country according to the data collected right now and relayed by Kaspersky. Wow. Think about that. Out of all the nations that are on planet Earth, you guys are the 19th most attacked country. You better think about that. Now, you have to rethink of every operation that you carry on well in the cyberspace. Okay, now let me bring this down. Let's bring this down. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, just bring it back. Okay, so if you really think about that, it's really amazing. It's really very alarming. And analyzing the trend of cyber crimes across countries, analysts have suggested a 10 to 15% internet penetration as the threshold level for the generation of the significant hacking activity. And according to, for example, this is African body, Seriano, based in Kenya. Cyber crimes, for example, cost Africa alone over 3.5 billion in 2017. But US alone, you know, 2018 alone, for example, they lost about 11.3 billion computer cyber security breaches in 2018 alone, you know. And if not checked, according to Cybersecurity Ventures, you know, it is estimated that global cyber crime will grow by 15% per year over the next 5 years. You know, this pushes us to over 10.5 trillion, you know, 10.5 trillion USD, you know, annually, up by 2025. This is way from the 3 trillion that were accounted for in 2015. If an economy is worth 10.5 trillion, this is an economy that might be in the first 10 position worldwide. You know, now just imagine all that figure. Okay? You know, so now, my friends, having discussed and showed you all those facts we have at hand, okay? If we don't check cyber security, if we don't work at reducing the cyber ignorance among ourselves, okay? Cyber ignorance has and it will continue to cost economies in terms of, for example, damage and destruction of data. We're going to see more damage and destruction of data. We are working in data-driven economy. Yesterday, my colleague was presenting about cloud ERP, software as a service. And if you have all of these SMEs, small, medium enterprises, shifting their operations into the cloud. Now, just imagine if we put the data that all of those SMEs are generating at risk. You know, I think that would be very, very damaging and a very great risk to our economy, you know, our economy. You know, now, we are most likely to see an increase and more increase stolen, you know, and untraceable money. Like, we're gonna see more and more money being lost, but we cannot trace where the money has actually gone. You know, if we don't check on the level of cyber security and cyber awareness, you know, if we continue to operate in cyber ignorant economy, you know, we are most likely to see more loss of productivity. You know, more loss of productivity. You know, so theft of intellectual property. You know, theft of intellectual property. Expect more and more if we don't check the level of cyber ignorance and if we don't increase the level of cyber awareness into our population and in our economy. You know, theft of personal and financial data. You know, theft of personal and financial data. You know, sorry, let me use this example. Over here in my country, one of the giant telecom companies called MTN, to which I subscribe. MTN is currently running a promotion where it is rewarding its loyal customers. But the challenge is, here in Uganda, all our lines are registered under our name. And if I try to send money to you via mobile money, I can see the exact name of the person under which the line is registered. Just yesterday, I received a call from one of the conmen around town, conmen, and this guy called me and said, "Hey Joseph, how are you? I'm Patrick, calling you from MTN. We are running a promotion called Momo Waka Waka, mobile money, promoting their platform called mobile money, where we send money via the phone, send money via the phone." Now, as I was speaking to this gentleman, he told me, "Jesus, congratulations. You've just won yourself 2 million Ugandan shillings." Wow. Now, this man expected me to become very excited. Unfortunately, I told him, "Hey, okay, thank you." Then he said, "Have you heard what I've said? You've won 2 million shillings." I was like, 2 million? Okay. And I told him, "No worries. You can take a share of that." Now, because the telecom companies have told us the numbers that should call us to tell us that you've won, and the number that called me was not one of those that the telecom company told us, this gentleman realized that actually I had just realized that he's calling me. So he just abused me the heavy word, he became very annoyed, and we lost the disconnection, turned it off, and then we all went past, as in, his deal never succeeded. But they have conned very many friends of ours who didn't bother to, up their game of cyber awareness. And they have conned very, very many friends, very many people around the country. So now, if we don't increase the cyber awareness of our population, you're expecting, you'll see more theft of personal and financial data for people. Expect more embezzlement. One of the challenges we have is individuals using government funds for their personal purposes, embezzlement, and the government can't trace, these individuals. So if you don't expect more increased fraud, more fraud, expect more post, attack disruption to the normal course of business. Reputational harm. People's names are being damaged, even when they have fought to build their reputation. So now all those I've just gone through them very, very. I didn't put a lot of wording around them. I hope you really get the point I'm after. If we don't check the levels of cyber awareness in our economy are prone to experience more and more of this. And this might already sound like me until you become a target of one of these people one of these days. I've just showed you Indonesia right now, where you guys are. As we speak right now, it's the 19th most attacked country in the world. If you think of all the countries we are having in the world, the 19th. And by the way, as I was checking yesterday, you are the 14th most attacked country yesterday. I could go on and analyze all of those kinds of threats that you're receiving. But because of time, probably I will share with you the link and you can check on them later on. So more of these will come. But then, what hope do we have? What next? What next? What can we do to counteract it? Okay. So with all of those risks that we are exposed to, what next? Now, the ones I'm going to give right now are focusing at an individual level. Why do I say an individual? Cyber attacks usually are being launched through individuals, and it's the individuals that can choose to either stop that or escalate that. Now, let's at least make sure that we update our software and operating systems on our computer. Let's update our software and operating system on our computer. I don't know what is the most common operating system in Indonesia. I'd appreciate if you type that in the comments. It would be very nice for me to get to know. But where I am in Uganda, the most common operating system is Windows for the desktops. A few individuals go on for the Mac, those that have Mac. And some people still go for Linux-based operating systems. But now I love the way, for example, Microsoft has made their Windows almost automatically update and get the latest security patches. If you update your software and your operating system, this will ensure that you benefit from the latest security patches. The latest security patches. So just make sure that you update your operating system. How do you update that? Maybe depending on the operating system that you have. That's why I've asked you, but regardless of the operating system, you need to make sure that it is as updated as much as possible. Let's make sure that we have antivirus software on our computer. These are in position to detect and remove the threat from your computer. Okay? Make sure that you keep it updated for the best level of protection. Make sure that you keep your antivirus protected for the best level of protection. I would recommend a number of antivirus, but depending on the Indonesian market, I don't know. Passcode is also over there. If you guys have AVG, there's a number of antivirus in the market. Microsoft in the Windows operating system already it ships, the Windows Defender. It ships the Windows Defender. Still, as an individual, make sure that you use strong password. Ensure that your password cannot easily be guessed. They are unguessable. Ensure that your passwords are unguessable. Don't use your name as a password. Don't just write your password next to your computer. Just make sure that you use strong password. And then finally, as we draw close to the conclusion of this presentation, okay, and then I'll probably get questions from you. Okay, do not open email attachments from unknown senders. Why? Because this could be infected with malware. This could be infected with malware. So don't just open mail attachments from unknown senders. Because this could be infected with malware. Do not click on links in the email from unknown senders or unfamiliar websites. Why? Because this is one of the common ways that malware is spread. One of the common ways that malware is spread is through these unknown, this link. Somebody can just send you an email. Hey, for example, hey, here we at the HR, we are an HR come from so and so, and we are upgrading. We are looking for employees that are so and so. And then they can say, please click the link below to confirm. Then you just click. That's quite dangerous. Dangerous. So unless you're very sure of the sender of the email, it will be very dangerous. So you just click on the link from email to unknown senders, and avoid using unsecure Wi-Fi network in public places. If you go to restaurants and just turn on the Wi-Fi feature of your phone, and you try to scan the network, you find network around restaurants. you'll find networks around airports. You find Wi-Fi networks around, football pitches. Unless you're really sure about the owner of the hotspot or the person behind the hotspot, it is very dangerous for you to just connect on those Wi-Fi, because these leave you vulnerable, like vulnerable. Like they expose you to what we call man in the middle attacks, what we call man in the middle attacks. Okay? These leave you vulnerable to man in the middle attack. Man in the middle attack. So don't just connect on any Wi-Fi that you come across. Don't just click on any Wi-Fi that you just come across. At least if you're in, for example, if you're in university campus, STEKOM, let's say for example, I'm very sure STEKOM must have non-Wi-Fi network with students, and somebody could just come next to the surfing center of your, maybe open surfing centers around your campus, and open or create a hotspot that you have no idea about. If you just connect to it without getting, know who exactly is behind it, a fellow student would go through, or a malicious person, a malicious individual could just go through you, and what comes after that, it might be hard for you to handle. So the key thing here is avoid using unsecure Wi-Fi networks in public places. Okay, in public spaces or in public places. Okay, so my friend, I don't know if I got that. Don't know if I got that one right. Sampai jumpa. I don't know, Mr. Moderator, if that is if that's the right word for that animation. Otherwise, I wanted to mean thank you for your attention. Unless somebody has got a question, we can then react to it. Yes, Mr. Moderator. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for Mr. Joseph Mugerwa. And by the way, you spell sampai jumpa is very well. Yeah. Then, okay. Then we have a Q&A session. I have list some of questions. First, I have a question that sent in my DM, and I sent it in the chat, in the live chat, Zoom live chat. So the first question is, which countries that have experience with major economic loss due to cyber ignorance? You can read the question in the live chat.
Sorry.
Okay.
Come again?
Which countries have experienced with major economic loss due to cyber ignorance? I'll resend it in the chat. You can read it in the Zoom chat. Yeah.
Okay. Let me get out the chat. Probably I can't do it. Okay. Let me rush to the chat over here. Okay, which countries have experienced major economic losses due to cyber ignorance? Okay, good question. Yes. Now, I could go on and mention country by country, but a number of countries, have experienced. Let me give you an example. Here in Uganda, let me use the very country that I'm coming from. Here in Uganda, we've had a number of camps that have run around, Now, the government actually has tried to raise the cyber awareness of people, but I would give an example of the very country where I'm coming from, we've experienced a number of major economic losses, due to cyber ignorance. I could go on and pull out the statistics from the ones I showed you. If you check US alone, I think if you brought 11 billion, it's not something small, it's not something small, not something small. So a number of countries have faced so, but to be specific, let me talk about Uganda. Here in Uganda, we really had some good economic losses due to the cyber ignorance that our people had before. And thanks to the government for the effort that it has invested in increasing the cyber awareness of its citizens. And I don't know if I've tried to answer you, but somebody again said, which countries have experienced major economic losses due to cyber ignorance? Okay, I think I've answered that. Then somebody say, hi sir, nice to know you. Major information system. Yeah, very nice. Okay. But Indonesia, in Africa, about already. So how about Africa? Oh, somebody typed in here a long question. I'm trying to read it. So, but
yes,
we've had a number of cyber attacks. Okay, we better speak up to directly, but I couldn't. Okay. 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 Yes. Thank you. Okay. Oh, people type in here quite long. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to look for other questions over here, and okay, somebody has said, can you tell us how to detect that we get cyber attack or not? Okay, I'll give you for example. Let me pull out this. Cyber threat map over here. Allow me to share my screen once again. Let me share my screen once again over here. Okay. For example, as a security analyst, we have a number of tools that we use to check out if we are getting attacks or not. But if you put out, I think I'll share this link. If you check out the real-time cyber map or the real-time map for cyber threats, okay, country by country, I could zoom in on each of the kind of attacks that are being sent. But let's say, for example, I want to analyze the country. Let's say, for example, let me zoom in back to, I want to use a country that we are all familiar with. Okay. So, for example, here we come down to Indonesia. Okay. So, if I selected Indonesia right now, okay, I selected Indonesia right now, I can see over here we are having open access scans. Time will not allow me to break down each of these, what the meaning is, but you're experiencing over 28,763. You can see them increase in the time. You can see, flipping out. You can see, for example, the ransomware right now down here, RMN 18, 10,042. 10,042 vulnerabilities over 243. Intrusion detection systems detection over 53, 708. Now, I could still use other maps to go in and analyze each of these one by one. But let me, for example, check out more statistics over here. But at an individual level, okay, at an individual level, how would you know that you're receiving? How would you know that you're receiving an attack? You know, at an individual level, the number of ways. For example, somebody can send you an email telling you if you don't pay this amount of money, we are going to corrupt your hard disk. And if you actually don't, if you pay a lot of attention to these people, you can actually get your hard disk corrupted. You know, you can get your hard disk corrupted. And sometimes the attackers usually love to use the threatening language. You know? Somebody can threaten you to do something to you know, and if you have an antivirus, for example, and you place a disk in your computer, the antivirus can do a lot of detection for you, and it can send you, and it asks you to either take action, and it's upon you to either take action or not. So the best way to actually detect an attack is I would recommend, if you have an antivirus, always pay close attention to your antivirus. Okay. We go back to the chat and see. Okay. I can turn off the share, then I'll go back to the chat. Okay. Yes, Mr. Moderator.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, we have one question again from one question more from Registry. If you want to answer it, sir. Yeah.
Sorry, I turn off my share so that I can go back to the chat and I also have a look at it. Like you, the one with the phone was over there. Okay.
Okay. So I think we have no more questions, sir. Thank you for today's lecture. Before I close this lecture, I have a conclusion or something to say before I will close this lecture, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you very much. And yeah, hope somebody picked something new in here. I know somebody, this might be common, but unless you fall prey of one of these people before, then you might appreciate this later. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, and I wish you the best of the day.
Okay, so thank you so much for Mr. Joseph Mugerwa for our lecture today. Yeah, and thank you for our participants, and thank you for your contribution in this event. And then before I close this event, so I will take some screenshot for our documentation. So for the participant that are not open the camera, you can open the camera because I will take some screenshot. Okay, buat teman-teman yang belum buka kamera, boleh dibuka dulu agar bisa diambil screenshot. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Joseph, and thank you so much for the participant. I will end this meeting today. Thank you.